If you were to choose another life, either in the past or in the future, who would you choose to be? I would choose to be a Viking. All other things not considered, I admire their attitude and perception towards life. They rewarded bravery and fearlessness through stories, songs, and tales told over generations. Tales of Ragnar Lothbrok, famous introduction to children's stories in the Viking series, as he was the first man to voyage into open sea on Tales of Wanderers. Unlike most people, after watching this phenomenal series, I went to research and read about the history of the Scandinavian nations and the Viking era. Because for some reason, these people were daring. And I mean daring, who voyages into open sea on Tales of Wanderers in search of gold, silver, and land. I dare not find that thrilling because the decision carries unfathomable uncertainties. No landmarks, no roads to guide your journey. And definitely, it's an open sea. Once you set sail, you can only move forward until you find land. And that is what being a wanderer means to me, a traveler of life. Traveler making decisions hoping that I arrive at my desired destinations, be it my career prospects, my academia, my relationship, or my friendships. But isn't that how life unfolds for itself? Every decision we make, massive or negligible, has its own risks and consequences. We live life believing that there is light at the end of the tunnel, not knowing how long that tunnel is. We enjoy the present because the future carries uncertainties that remain nothing but a mystery. And that's why I resonate my life to that of the Viking. Life is the open sea. The decisions I make sail me through it, hoping that the winds and the storms will be kind enough to ensure I reach my destination. And from this stems my most cherished tattoo, the Vexivera. In my tattoos, as an African child, and yes, I'm an African child, it might come as a shock that I defied the African norms and beliefs that were instilled in me in my childhood. While I expected retribution for my actions, I was rather met by the open-mindedness of my parents. My mother was rather intrigued by the aesthetics of the art, asking what it meant and why I chose it. The Vexivere was a Nordic compass used by the Vikings as a tool for guidance and protection during the long voyages. It goes without saying that my mother aired out her concerns that I might be self-sabotaging my career prospects. However, having landed jobs at X-Culture in the United States and Kenya Airways, I have quelled her doubts, assuring her that there is no correlation between my tattoos and my employability. As for my father, he dropped the bomb when he told me that as a result of my tattoos, I am no longer eligible to donate blood. I was rather disappointed, asking myself, why did I miss such an important piece of information in evaluating my options in getting one? But if I was to go back in time, would I make a different choice? No. The Vexivere is a part of my journey. It's my attitude towards life. At some point in life, we all need guidance to sail forward. At some point in life, we need guidance to move forward and recollect ourselves over and over when things get tough. My guidance is inscribed behind my back. It's a compass that helps me as I search for better pieces and better versions of myself in becoming a reliable woman, a valuable employee, a gifted daughter, a warm-hearted friend, and a supportive partner. Considering the relative reaction my parents had towards the Vexivere, I went to get another tattoo, the anchor. The anchor, which was an essential component in the Viking ship, as it was used to prevent their ships from drifting in open sea. My anchor provides steadiness, strength, determination, passion, and peace. To bring the story home, back in 2020, I decided to embark on a journey to test my tenacity and resilience towards life. My friends and I decided to hike Mount Longonot in Kenya, which is a 13.4 kilometers to and from, with an addition of 7.2 kilometers distance around the summit. And please note, most people who hike this mountain, they only go up and come down, and that's their hike. They finish their hike. But my team decided to test the limits and see how far we could go. Shortly, the clouds fell, covering the mountain. The winds were hailing strong. The trenches were getting muddier and steeper. Some people had altitude sickness, and the despair started to kick in. 2 hours in, and the experience turned to a cry for help. Unfortunately, I had the altitude sickness. My head was aching, I had nausea, shortness of breath, and I could no longer do it anymore. So I stopped. A friend decided to stay back with me to help me catch my breath and regain strength. To our surprise, our friends had already left us. And it is unfortunate that Google Maps could not help us, only our friends. So we started calling and shouting for their names until they came back for us. And the rest is history, as I am here giving the speech. In relation to the anchor, sinking is not an option. My anchor was my friend who stayed back. Our anchors were our friends who came back for us. They gave us the determination and steadiness and strength to finish the hike. So, what am I saying? Getting lost is not the end of the story. It's just the beginning of you rediscovering yourself over and over. As a wanderer of life, the Vexivia and the anchor hold dear to my heart, as they have taught me the ups and downs of life. As for the anchor, it has taught me that sinking, that means getting lost in life or sinking, is not an option when I have parents, mentors, teachers, and friends. It is not wrong to always ask for help when you need to cross to the other side of success. As for the Vexivia, it showed me how receptive my parents were, allowing me to explore different careers, abilities that brought out the best in me. Instead, they never put me in a box. Instead, they gave me the freedom, and with it came responsibility, and I have turned out amazing, the least to say. To wrap up, what would I want you to go with? The world always has something to say about what you're doing and what you're going to do. And it is imperative to know that some of these are perceptions that they were built for you to fit in. At the end of the day, make choices that reflect who you are and where you are headed. Choices that give you the stamina to forge on in life. Be bold, be audacious, own up to your choices. It's rather you live a life with no what-if regrets. Find your anchor. If lost, rely on your most inner circle. Map your compass and walk through life knowing that you're doing the right thing at the right time. Focus on things that light up the fire in your belly. And for everything else, Kwesera Sera.